Hello and welcome back, SNDL community. And for those of you new to the channel, or you used to be an SNDL and you're waiting for the appropriate time to come back in because you set a stop loss, we're going to be talking about that in this video. I'm going to give you an update because in past videos, not only did I cover Zenobus, and things are constantly changing with this company, but we talked about the reverse stock split being a 20-to-1 around July 15th. Now we've got some new information and I'm updating my thesis with you. It could be anywhere from 1 to 25 to 1 to 10. Now we know that information from looking at the Proxy circular, and some of you have read it already, and I want to make sure that you also read that section that talks about the potential that we might be issued two separate shares after a reverse stock split. So we'll have shares of Nova Cannabis and we'll also have shares of SNDL. So for those of you that have not been through a reverse stock split, I've been saying 1 to 20 is what I believe will happen to this company. If you multiply the number of shares times the current share price, you're going to get a total post stock split price. So that's what this chart means, anywhere from 1 to 25 to 1 to 10. Now I did a calendar. In the red is non-trading blackout dates or dates that have already passed as of the recording of this video. And CPI on the 13th. We've got a vote deadline on the 19th. And the annual meeting and record date is going to be on the 21st. Now supposedly if this goes through, we might get Nova shares. So for those of you voting, that could be part of this deal. Now the consolidation notice could come as early as the following day on Friday, the July 22nd. And typically when the consolidation notice or the reverse stock split is announced, you can see anywhere from a 20 to 40% decrease in the share price, taking it from the current share price of 33 cents down to these numbers over here. So 33 to 26 or even 33 to 20. So after we receive the official consolidation notice, and this goes to say 20 cents, that's what we're insinuating here at the low end, or even 26 cents. Then they will combine those shares into one share price. The market will officially open the following day, and on the calendar I have it July 25th, and that's when you will see a consolidation drop in the price. And that is typically when a lot of people like to enter into a position, whether or not they hold it. I think there's still a lot of time this week with the FOMC meeting happening, but I will tell you there's money to still be made on this play. And for those of you that think you've completely lost on your position, your current position, I would still hold that and I would look for opportunities to add. Now let's take a look at these analyst price targets because I want to show you the upside potential if you get the timing right, post reverse stock split, and before the next earnings is announced. Now, analysts have price targets that I've got from Tip Ranks, and they could update these at any time and go lower if there is a bearish sentiment in the market. But right now, we have a low of 48 cents, an average price target of 60 cents, and a high of 80 cents. Now, there's 4 scenarios, and if we go back to the table and we take these high analyst price targets of anywhere from $20 all the way to $4.80. I mean, you can see there's a whole range of price targets. And if we take that low end on the price target and you get the timing right, you buy this at the bottom, you take advantage of this price getting crushed down to 20 cents or even lower, or it could be a little higher. It could be anywhere from $2 to $5, and you're making an $8 to $20 return. So 5 to 20, or even 2 to 8. Now that's where you want to cost average down, and you're going to have to watch the market. The timing on this is going to be incredibly important, but I still believe the Alcana acquisition is going to be a major catalyst for this stock. When they officially recognize that revenue, I don't think that analysts can do anything besides upgrade their price targets. So a few important things with voting your shares. I'm going to show you how I did it. You can also go back and do it again, so I'd encourage you to vote if you haven't already. And this isn't a recommendation to vote anyway, but they will vote your shares for you if you don't vote them yourself. Any resolutions you don't vote for will be voted according to the management's recommendation if it provides one. So let's take a look at the 6 questions that were provided. And number 1 is setting the number of directors, and you'll see the for and against and the recommendation vote of 4. Now, as far as the elected directors, all 5 of these, I didn't have a problem with who's on the team. They recommended 4. I selected 4. Number 3 is the auditor, and we know there was an auditor change. I selected 4 for that. This next one changes the name of the company, SNDL Incorporated. I didn't have a problem with that. And this is the one that probably is going to get the most attention, and that would be the consolidation, the share consolidation. And I did not want this one to pass in particularly, so I went against on that one. And the last one, number 6, I also went for as that recommendation. Then I confirmed my vote and turned it in. Now, just a few final thoughts and clarifying points. Obviously, in the video, I used some numbers and percentages based on assumptions, and those are based off of current market conditions, and market conditions could change leading up to the actual vote and that outcome. So we don't know what's actually going to happen. I don't know that this is going to drop to 20 cents. I don't know that it's going to be 33 cents when it actually reverse stock splits or they have that share consolidation notice that comes out. I do expect that to happen. That's what I believe based off of what I've read. So let's go through the proxy statement or the meeting circular so I can show you some of the language in here that just leads me to believe that. So the first thing I want to look at is the share consolidation means the proposed consolidation of common shares on the basis of not more than one post-consolidation share for every 25 pre-consolidation common shares and no less than 10. So what does it mean if they choose to do 25 versus 10? And in my tracker that I showed you previously, I had 25 in red and I had 10 in green because my assumption is your confidence in the business moving forward would lead me to believe that if you have a high level of confidence in the business, then you wouldn't need to combine as many shares. If you have a lower level of confidence in those Alcana revenue numbers and the strategic direction of the business, you may want to go on the higher side because you believe that you're going to need more room for this to drop. So I'm looking for this to be in the 10 range, and those are just my personal thoughts. Now, of course, the business has a reason for why they picked and why they will pick and why they have a range. And in here on page 17, it says the board expects that the share consolidation will be effected immediately following the meeting. So if they have the meeting on the 21st, on the 22nd is when we will see that share consolidation notice. And if we go back to this chart over here, this is where you see the decrease of that current price. So you could put in that current price and close of market that day potentially, or when the notice comes out, you could put this price in to see if it meets any of these targets. And then the following day, there potentially could be a share consolidation drop. So hopefully all of that makes sense. There could be a dip that next morning. And with the FOMC meeting coming up that week, there could be further volatility. So it'll be very important to be patient. Now, down here, it has some reasoning between or to explain why they have ratios and flexibility to implement a range of these 25 to 10. So how do they determine whether or not they're going to pick 25 or 10 or within that range? The historical trading prices and trading volume of the common shares, and then prevailing trailing price, trading volume of the common shares, and anticipated impact of the share consolidation on the trading of common shares. So will they start to lose liquidity because this is no longer a penny stock, and the threshold prices of brokerage houses or institutional investors that could impact their availability to invest or recommend investments in the common shares? I believe that this is the biggest driver for the company. If you ask me, they are starting to forget, or they have already forgotten about retail investors. So the management team is for the share consolidation, and I understand why. For the benefit of the company moving forward, institutions need to be able to invest in this, and there's not incentives to do that as long as it's under $1. We're not meeting NASDAQ compliance. There's a whole list of reasons, but I know my share price is going to go down in the short term. But you have to be able to take advantage of this when it hits the very bottom and take advantage of that catalyst. And when will that next catalyst be? I didn't put it on the calendar, but the last time that they notified us and did an earnings call around this time, it was August 13th. So we're looking for that date. August something is going to come out. They're going to notify us when the next earnings call is going to happen. Once you know that date, you want to find an area post reverse stock split and before that earnings date to cost average down. Those are my thoughts. I'm going to be keeping you updated on this, and I'll see you in the next video.